Getting you set for the men's 5,000 final. Favorite in this is Dylan Powell. Colorado Mines could go 1-2 in this event. They did in the lead up to the Nationals. Dylan Powell, Kyle Moran, top 2 times in the country. And Baraki for Adams State, 3rd best time. You'll have Powell and Moran, the teammates, out of that 9th and 10th spot. Moran starting out of the 9, and Powell out of the 10. Lined up there left on your screen. Dylan Coe, also from Colorado Mines. Good distance program there. We got 5 from the Ore Diggers in this final in the 5,000. Powell, Moran, the top 2 there. Ryan Riddle from Missouri Southern. Tanner Chata for Grand Valley State. Baraki for Adams State. Jake Mitchum, also from Colorado Mines, as we're off in the 5,000. Carly Stimfel for Saginaw Valley. Titus Winders for Southern Indiana. Dayton Brown, Saginaw Valley. Dylan Coe, Kyle Moran, and Dylan Powell, all from Colorado Mines, with Carson Bix, Jan Lucas Becker, Funey for Colorado Mines, Ziru for Colorado Springs, Mutai for American International, and Harding for Grand Valley State. And it is Dylan Powell out ahead. He's expected to win this event. He holds the Ore Diggers school record in the 5,000, 13:33.68 for the chemical engineering major. And he's flanked by Dayton Brown to begin it for Saginaw Valley. And remember, Powell and Moran, the top 2 with Baraki for Adams State, all around that 13:35 mark, 13:33.68, 13:35.58, and 13:36.22. Those are the best 2 times. And it is Powell that's out in front. 2nd place for Dayton Brown. And in 3rd position, it's Isaac Harding, the senior for Grand Valley State. 2 Grand Valley State Lakers right there. Tanner Chata, the junior, in 4th position. Season best of 13:45.19 for him. And lining up into the 2nd lap with Dylan Powell, the freshman, leading it. A sensational first year for Colorado Mines. 13:33, setting a school record. And was conference runner of the year his first year. He's a 2nd-year freshman. Dylan Powell was a conference champion last year in the 8K. And already a school record leading the pack for him. And Dayton Brown, a 1-2. Mostly straight up alignment. 2 spread, 3 deep there. And Grand Valley State still holding down the 3rd and 4th spots with Chata and with Isaac Harding. We're getting to lap 3 with Powell out of the head of the pack. Baraki, who's projected to potentially medal in this event for Adams State. February 27th, he set the Adams State record in the 5,000. Missed breaking 14 minutes by just a few minutes a couple of weeks ago, and ended up getting well within the 13-minute range, 13:36.22. He had the 3rd best time coming in behind those 2 Colorado Mines runners that we were just talking about. So we'll get you back to the 5,000 here in a couple of minutes. Let's check in on the men's weight throw. In the final, we'll give you your top 5 competitors from earlier today. And in the men's weight throw final, here's a look at what was going on in the infield. Again, we'll have more updates as we move along today. And your winner was Brent Fairbanks in the men's weight throw out of Ashland. Set a facility record and a career best at 22:73. Tanner Berg finished right behind him at 22:40. And that was Berg's throw. Slapped himself after he threw at 22 meters. Brent Fairbanks for Ashland, 22:73. Facility record, career best. and stalking his way to the top of the podium for Ashland's. Getting the hug and his national championship trophy. Congrats to Brent Fairbanks for Ashland, your national champion in the men's weight throw at 22.73. It came on his third throw in the finals. He did foul a couple of times, couldn't build on it, but that third and final throw at his opening rounds gets him to the podium. The throw you saw from Tanner Berg at 22.40 was his fifth. So it's Fairbanks, Berg, Nick Hudson from Minnesota State, and the weight throw winning it. So back to the 5,000 where Powell still out in front of the pack. 1 and 2 with him and Dayton Brown. Isaac Harding in third position with Ezra Mutai for American International. There was some pushing in the middle of the pack. Mutai was trying to make a move a little bit earlier, and he does get passed up, moving back into sixth position with Baraki. We were talking about him a little bit earlier, moving up to the first spot. He was hiding out 6th, 7th, and 8th most of those first couple of laps, just past the 5-minute mark. Baraki was the one who set the Adams State record in the 5,000 on February 27th at the Boston invite. Broke Aaron Braun's record at Adams State. It was set back in 2010. It hung up for a while, but 12 years later, it was Baraki that broke it. And here's Dayton Brown making his move along the outside. Hanging out right behind Dylan Powell most of the race so far. And Dayton Brown, the junior from Saginaw Valley, just got inside 14 minutes before Nationals and qualified for this final. One of 16 getting into this final. Baraki for Adams State, the sophomore, 13:36.22. His best. That's third best nationally this year, breaking that Adams State record. Powell and Moran, 1 and 2. Facility record could go down. Our top 3 times, all better nationally this year than the facility and the meet record. So if Powell, Moran, and Baraki run their best today, we'll see that facility record shattered by about 10 seconds. Brown picking it up in the shadow of Baraki. Into that next turn at 6:30. And Dylan Powell into third position. He led most of the opening 3 or 4 laps in third place. Stimful for Saginaw Valley, Mitchum for Colorado Mines, mid-pack, Winders for Southern Indiana, and then Dylan Coe for Colorado Mines as well. And it's Baraki that continues to lead. Powell in his flank. Isaac Harding in fourth. Mutai has had the most movement so far. He's into third place. And Tanner Chada, Carson Bix, Carly Stimfel, Zaru, Coe, Moran, Mitchum, Becker, Winders, Riddle. Rounding out the pack here in the 5,000. With Baraki continuing to lead. Baraki and Powell 1 and 2. Brown has fallen back. He was in third place and then moved up to second place. Opening couple of laps, he's down to 7th. It's Baraki and Powell 1 and 2 with Mutai hanging around the leaders. Just past 8 minutes at the 2,900 meter mark. Baraki came across in first, Powell at 8:05 in second, Mutai in third place, a couple of hundredths off that pace. So Baraki, Powell, Mutai, Harding, Chada, those are your top 5 right now in this 5,000 final. Baraki has led the last 1,000 meters now. He was in 9th place, moved up in 1 lap into first place. So big time movement. Jumped 8 people through the first 2,000 meters. And Baraki looking over at Powell, who's in second position. Through 3,200 meters at 8:54 for Baraki. This is the final with Powell and Moran the favorites. Baraki, number 3. Would be a bit of an upset if he were to win it. Powell right in his reach, though. Mutai in third. Grand Valley State with Harding and Chada, the 2 teammates, 4th and 5th. And Baraki with his Adams State teammates right there along the railing, shouting him on. He's a little bit more than halfway to a national championship, but a tight pack right behind him with Powell, the expected favorite, who ran a 13:33, right on his tail and shadowing. Approaching 10 minutes at 3,500 meters gone. 1,500 meters left to go to crown a national champion in the 5,000. And it's Baraki for Adams State still out in front with Powell, Harding, Mutai, 2, 3, and 4. Lined up throughout most of the pack. 2 deep in a couple of positions, mostly toward the back. But it's Baraki, Powell, and Harding lined up with Mutai up there in front. Now Mutai falling back to 5th, and Powell emerging to take the lead. So Powell past Baraki, and a move made by Isaac Harding to move into second position. And Baraki, who had led for 4 laps, and now into third place, and it's Powell turning it on, the expected national champion. 3,800 meters gone. Powell in first, Harding and Baraki 2 and 3 with Chada and Winders with a 10:30 mark through those first 3,800 meters. So the final 1,000 coming up with 4 laps to go, including this one at 11:15 for Colin Powell. So it's Powell in first, Harding behind him, Baraki in third, Winders, the Screaming Eagle for Southern Indiana, in 4th place as they hit the turn with 3 laps to go. 11:21.55 across the line for Powell through 4,100 meters. And now 3 laps to go. Powell expected to win it. Already holds a school record in the 5,000. Now trying to add national champion to his name. His teammate Moran is hanging out in 8th place and expected to finish 2nd. Well, let's see if Powell can separate now. It's 3 bunched up at the front. Now 4 bunched up at the front with Powell, Harding, Baraki, and Winders. Winders moving into 3rd position. Baraki had the lead for 4 laps. And Powell in front and distancing himself from Harding into the turn. 4,100 meters gone, 4,400 meters gone, 12:09 for Powell, 12:10 for Harding in 2nd place. Winders came across in 3rd, and now it's Winders moving ahead of Powell into 1st place. Does Winders have enough to hold on in the final 2 laps and beat Powell? Winders, a 13:56 before the Nationals, was not in the top 3 nationally, but he's broken away from Powell with a couple of laps to go. Can he be a surprise national champion? Powell trying to track him down. He's the favorite. And Powell, with a lap to go, in 13 minutes on his mark, it's Winders, who was in the middle of the pack for most of the race, was in 14th a couple thousand meters ago, moved up to 5th and 4th and 3rd, now 1st, and he's knocking on the door of a national championship. Running away from Powell, a couple of meters in front of him. Around the turn, looking over his shoulder. Here comes Winders, Titus Winders, the junior from Southern Indiana, has a national championship in his reach. And Winders from 14th place all the way to 1st has a national championship for Southern Indiana. It's Powell in at 2nd at 13:38 behind him. Grand Valley with a load of runners behind him. Winders with a facility record, a meet record, and a career best to win it at 13:38. Powell in at second at 13:42. Harding at 13:47 in third. And Stimfel coming back late from 8th place into 3rd place. And then eventually finished back to 4th place at the end of the 5,000. But a great race for Titus Winders, his career best, meet record, facility record, after he was in 14th place halfway through the race. And he wins it at 13:38 to claim the national championship for Southern Indiana. So Powell, who came in with the best time in the country, ends up finishing second, and Isaac Harding finishes third. And Baraki, who led for a lot of the race, middle part of that race belonged to Baraki. He was in eighth place at the finish, and the second best time heading into the event was Kyle Moran. He finishes 11th. So some surprise movers, including the national champion, who is out of Southern Indiana, Titus Winders. Came out of the 6th position to win it. Winders 13:38. Man, did he turn it on late. Led for the final 2 laps. Held off Powell, separated from Powell. And ran a final lap at 43:59. Saved his best for last in a big way. That was 5 seconds better than his third to last lap. 44:75, second to last lap, and then 43:59 to close it out and claim the national championship. And we'll take a quick break. Titus Winders, your national championship. First winner in the 5,000 for Southern Indiana.